Someone is trying to manipulate you. Right now, maybe even today. Through guilt, through pressure, through carefully constructed narratives designed to make you feel like you owe them something. And the worst part? Most people don't even notice it happening. And most people respond with words, explanations, defenses, justifications. But words feed manipulation. They don't break it. Here's the truth. Manipulation only works through participation. And participation happens through response. When you explain, you're negotiating. When you defend, you're validating their frame. When you justify, you're accepting that your position needs approval. And all of that feeds the manipulation. Stay until the end, because I'll show you how to break manipulation without saying a single word. And why silence is the most powerful response you'll ever give. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." When someone manipulates you, they're attempting to control an outside event. Your decision, your action, your availability. And they do this by controlling your internal state. Through guilt, through obligation, through fear of disappointing them. But the moment you stop responding, the control mechanism breaks. Not because you defeated them, because you removed yourself from the equation. Here's what most people don't understand. Manipulators need feedback. They need to see that their tactics are working. A defensive response, that's feedback. An explanation, that's feedback. Even anger, that's feedback. Because all of it confirms this person can be moved. And movable people are controllable people. But silence? Silence gives nothing. No confirmation, no leverage, no entry point, no control. And without entry, manipulation collapses. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Manipulation is what happens. Response is how you react. And the most powerful reaction isn't explanation, it's non-reaction. Not cold, not aggressive, just absent. Because absence can't be manipulated. Here's how manipulation works. Step 1, they create discomfort through guilt. After everything I've done for you, through obligation, I thought I could count on you. Through comparison, everyone else would understand. All of this is designed to create internal pressure, and pressure demands release. Most people release through compliance or explanation or defense, and all three validate the manipulation. Step 2, they wait for your response. Not just any response, an emotional response. Because emotional responses reveal vulnerability. And vulnerability is where manipulation operates. If you explain, they know you feel guilty. If you defend, they know you feel attacked. If you comply, they know the tactic worked. And tactics that work get repeated. Step 3, they adjust based on feedback. Your response teaches them what works. If guilt works, they use more guilt. If pressure works, they apply more pressure. If silence works, wait. Silence doesn't work for manipulators because silence provides no data. And without data, they can't adjust. They can only repeat. And repetition without response becomes pointless. And pointless behavior gets abandoned. Let me show you what breaking manipulation without words looks like. Someone guilt trips you. "I guess I'm not a priority." Most people respond, "That's not true, I've just been busy." And now, you're negotiating. You've entered their frame. And their frame is that you need to prove they're a priority. But you don't. Because proving is participation. And participation is what manipulation requires. Here's the shift. Same guilt trip. "I guess I'm not a priority." You pause. You look at them. Not angry, not guilty, just observant. Then you continue what you were doing. No response, no explanation, no validation of their frame, just continuation. And in that continuation, the manipulation fails. Not because you defeated it, because you didn't participate. If this is landing, subscribe. Because this isn't about being cold. This is about being unmoved by tactics designed to move you. And unmoved people can't be manipulated. Not because they're strong, because they're unresponsive to manipulation specifically. And unresponsiveness ends the game. Here's what people miss. They think silence is passive. It's not. Silence is the most active choice you can make in the face of manipulation. Because choosing silence in a moment designed to provoke response requires more control than any explanation ever could. Explanation is easy. It releases pressure. Silence holds pressure. And pressure held eventually dissipates, not through release, through time. And time without validation kills manipulation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." When someone manipulates you, they expect you to play the game. Defend, explain, comply. Don't. Not through defiance, through absence. Be unlike them by refusing to participate in the dynamic they're creating. And refusal through silence is more powerful than refusal through argument. Because argument is still engagement, and engagement is still participation. Here's what happens when you stop responding. Option 1, they escalate. The guilt gets heavier, the pressure increases, the manipulation becomes more obvious, and obvious manipulation loses power. Because subtlety is what makes manipulation work. And when you don't respond to subtle, they have to go obvious. And obvious manipulation exposes itself, not to you, to them. And exposure creates discomfort, and discomfort ends behavior. Option 2, they give up. Because manipulation without response is effort without reward. And humans don't sustain effort without reward. So they stop, not because they respect you, because the tactics stopped working. And tactics that don't work get abandoned. Either way, you're protected. Not through confrontation, through non-participation. I used to explain myself to every manipulation attempt. Someone guilt-tripped me. I explained why they were wrong. Someone pressured me. I justified my position. Someone framed me as selfish. I defended my character. And every single time, I fed the manipulation. Because explanation is participation, and participation validates the frame. The frame that says, your position needs defending. It doesn't. One day I stopped. Someone tried to guilt me. Same tactic, same pressure, same expectation that I'd explain myself. And I felt the pull, that familiar urge to make them understand, to prove I wasn't the bad guy. But I didn't. I looked at them, paused, and said nothing. Not coldly, not angrily, just nothing. And then I continued what I was doing. The silence was uncomfortable for both of us, but I held it, and something happened. They tried again. Heavier guilt, more pressure, and I responded the same way. Silence, observation, continuation. After 3 attempts, they stopped. Not because I convinced them, because the manipulation stopped producing results. And behaviors without results get abandoned. Not out of respect, out of efficiency. Here's what the Stoics knew. Your response gives power to tactics. When you respond to manipulation, you're confirming that the tactic has potential, and potential invites repetition. But when you don't respond, you're teaching something different. This doesn't work on me, And what doesn't work doesn't get repeated. Not immediately, but eventually. Through consistency. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." If manipulation controls your response, you're not master of yourself. The manipulator is. And as long as they are, the manipulation continues. But the moment you become master through non-response, the manipulation loses its target. Because you can't manipulate what doesn't react. Here's the shift. Stop explaining yourself to people using guilt. Stop defending yourself to people using pressure. Stop justifying your decisions to people who frame your boundaries as problems. Not through argument, through silence. Calm, observant, unmoved. And let that silence communicate what words never could. Your tactics don't work here. Final truth. Manipulation breaks the moment you stop participating. And participation happens through response. So stop responding, not with coldness, with absence. Observe the manipulation, recognize it, and refuse to engage. Not through explanation, through silence. And watch what happens. Not immediately, but inevitably. The manipulation stops. Not because you defeated it, because you remove the mechanism it requires, your response. And when manipulation stops, something else happens. Respect, not spoken, demonstrated, through adjusted behavior, through reduced pressure, through the quiet recognition that you can't be moved by tactics designed to move you. That recognition is power. Not loud, not aggressive, just unmoved. And unmoved people don't get manipulated. They get respected or avoided. And both outcomes protect your peace, your energy, your autonomy. Break manipulation without saying a word, starting now. And watch what happens next.